Okay, welcome to my F2P account. So we're going to do an overview on this F2P account for June 2020. I usually do this overview about once a month and towards the end of the month. So it's June edition, and let's see where we stand with this F2P account. So we initially started this account to measure how long it would take to get it from C1 all the way to T4 account and see how long it would take without spending any money in a decent guild with being pretty decently active. So I'm able to log in every day and collect gifts and do whatever I need to within the guild. And the guild itself is pretty good guild, and I'm able to grow at a decent rate. So let's start off with the VIP level, which is 12. I think I hit that on the last time we did an overview, which is great because I can actually open up gifts without any issues now. Just one touch. Also, let's go ahead and look at how many days. We've been at it for 255 consecutive days, but we are getting close. And originally, when we started this account, I thought it was going to take about a year as an F2P to get there, just because of the buildings and whatnot. It takes so many gems to get those buildings up to level C25 in order for you to get Academy to level 25. So my gems I stand to have right now, I have 17,000, and many of you probably see me up into even past 100k or whatnot. But I've been spending the gems towards all the buildings. Right now I'm at level 24 on all the buildings for those paid buildings like the altar, prison, and the battle hall. And let's look at this guy here, battle hall. I am actually only about 1,000 short of the tomes, so I'm almost there. In fact, I could afford to buy them right now if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. And then let's look at the prison. I already purchased enough, and they're actually over the limit now. I have 4692. And then last thing for the altar, I have 948. So I'm roughly about 50,000 gems short on getting all these buildings paid up. And once you get these buildings paid up, if you're in a good guild, your gems are going to stack up pretty fast. Now, rest of the buildings, you'll see that my, what do you call these, familiar buildings are very low because I never actually paid attention to them, just enough to get them started on pack 3, because I knew I wanted to focus all my time on getting the necessary buildings for T4, and I wanted to get to T4 at the shortest amount of time possible without spending any money. So Treasure Trove is actually pretty decent at level 7, 11 days left. Not much payout, but 28,000 better than 0, I guess. So that's that. And then rest of the buildings you will see at level 24, because the castle itself is at level 24. Now, if we look, I'll finally pull the trigger. We're going to C25. And in about 26 days, we shall be C25. And at that time, what I will be doing is getting it ready for Academy 25, which basically, in order for you to have Academy 25, you have to have Castle 25, Castle Wall, Watchtower, Vault, Battle Hall, Altar, Trading Post, Infirmary. So everything needs to be 25. So once I get to Castle 25, I will be upgrading to 25, but I will probably start out with the ore and get my workshop up to 25 to get my third slot open. But that's my plan for now. But yes, it is finally going to C25. And while I didn't have materials for these 3 buildings here, what I've been doing was I've been actually upping my infirmary space. Yes, I know I should have mainers so I could pump out troops, but I think this one actually started out as an account in as a free to play account in a closed kingdom, I believe. And I think I probably needed a lot of infirmary space, but I didn't want to turn back on it. So what I'm going to do is keep it at infirmary space. Yes, it's going to waste a lot of gems and speed ups for training troops, but I hate to go back and tear all these down and go to Manor and then re-tear them down to go back to Infirmary. So ultimately, I'm going to just keep them at Infirmary. And another one of the reasons why I decided to keep them at Infirmary is because I wanted the space. And let's see how much we got. We have 504,000 troops dead inside Infirmary. And reason why they are dead inside Infirmary is because I actually infirmed them to have no shield on, so that way I can save the gems for not having the shield. And now, since the introduction of Sanctuary, I'm able to put away even more troops. So right now, I can actually put away 950 more thousand troops in addition to my infirmary. So by the time the infirmary is done and the sanctuary is filled and I'm at T4, I am expecting to have about close to 2 million T2 gladiators. And you will see currently I have less than 10,000 troops, which does not eat up enough food if I have any, but I don't have any. I don't keep a lot of RSS in here just because I don't want the attackers coming in looting it. So basically, and I'll leave these troops out, and once they get to certain points, I actually do get attacker once in a while to put them in to the sanctuary since infirmary is full. So that's what's happening. Let's look at infirmary. They're all at level 24 except few, and these will eventually go to 24 and 25. Right now, it's not my concern. I wanted to see 25, and then after that is I'm probably going to focus more on getting to Academy 25 to be able to start doing research on other level 10s, because I'm actually almost running out of research. So we will look at research in a little bit, but for now, this will be an ore hyper, and you can see I started it, but of course the hyper section will be the last thing that I will be getting done. It's not producing much, 121,000 per hour, so it's really nothing that's coming out of it. Now let's go ahead and look at we just moved into New Kingdom, so Coliseum is not high. I just broke into 5,000, so we should be getting a little more gems, 10 per 3 hours, I think. Yeah, how nice. So I'm making about 3.3 gems per hour, but as we move up, it should look better. Now, let's go ahead and look at the research. Research-wise, economy, I did as much as I can with C24 at maxed out at 9. And then military-wise, I'm also almost maxed out at C24. Once this range offense is done within a couple of days, we will go into cab offense level 10. And that will be, 55 days? So we're looking at about 40-day research. So by the time C25 is done, that's probably what's happening. But I am going to have to speed up, or not speed up, but at least get those buildings up and ready, because after this I will need Academy 25 in order for me to research anything further. And of course, I'm trying to make this account where it's very low might T4, so I'm not working on anything else like defense. Monster is also very low, and then I believe there's nothing there. I will eventually get this to quick swap 1 or 2, and then same thing, just opening up the phalanxes. And military command, we have breakthrough, and that's about it. Familiar pack 3, nothing more. Familiar battle slots, I think I will open all the way to slot 3 on this one. And there's nothing on Sigil or Wonder Research. And for this gear, I'm probably not even going to mess with T5. But never say never. So that's what's going on with that. Now let's go ahead and verify that this account is still free to play. And you can see the first purchase bonus here, still not cashed in. In fact, Rose Knight is still green, I believe, or is it? Oh, she's gold. Okay, yeah, wrong account. She's gold because I guess we opened up. Yep, we opened up her elite. So let's look at the heroes here. As far as the heroes go, so Bomb and Goblin, ones that are on my wall: Rose Knight, Bomb and Goblin, Oathkeeper, Demon Slayer, and Snow Queen. They will all go to gold. Demon Slayer is actually ready to go to gold. I'm just waiting for Guildfest Quest to do the army hero might to go up. And I'll do same thing with Snow Queen. So I'm only about 100 medals away from all 5 wall heroes going gold. And that should be fine. I'm not too worried about rank 8 just yet, but eventually we'll get to it. The other heroes I'm not grading up any at this time, because this will more likely be a trap castle that I'm trying to work on as a T4 and T2 front with T4 backline, and we'll see how that works out. If it doesn't work out, I'll hire more heroes, and then I can also do attack castle with certain limited amount of troops or whatnot at low might. So we will see how that works. So that's that. We got the heroes on the wall. I have the previously mentioned heroes. I have nothing on the familiars because you saw the familiar building. I didn't really have, it was only up to level 9. So Trickstar is now finally Elder and it's moving up little by little. But you could see, because I'm low level, I don't have a lot of fragments either. So right now, I'm not too worried about that. I'm worried mostly about getting them to Elder. So Mo Shaman here has 123 medals ready to go. But he doesn't even really need to be Elder. But I want to get that 10% effect from infantry from Mo Shaman at Elder max level 60. Same thing with Nosferus. It's pretty much same thing, 10% at max. So I'm working on those. Griffin, I will work on because I want the army talent. And even when you first open it, it's 50% attack boost. And I think I can set up the comp to where I can get them to activate. So that's that on this. And once we get to T4, I said free to play until T4. So once we get to T4, it's going to probably be a different ball game. Now, some of the free or paid familiars that I gotten from Tycoon or Black Queen, Gargantua, Bon Appetit, and the other ones. Of course, we only have 1 out of 25-ish, so they're never going to be they're never going to be at elder stage. It would be awesome if they could, but it would take years and years to get that. So that's where my familiars sit. Familiars, basically, I'm going after pack 3 for that additional 10% attack boost, or what I'm going after. And then I will probably, for the front slot, I will probably go for Griffin and Gem and Gremlin for infantry stacking. Yep. Here. Yep. Up to 100%. And then I may ultimately go for Harpy for HP on the front side as well. So those 3 may be what's sitting there, unless I get super lucky and get one of these paid familiars, which would be awesome as well. But we will see. Now, As far as the might go, you can see that I'm sitting at 40 million might, and most of my might is actually core might. You can see that troop might is only 80,000, and rest of it is core might. And quest is only turned in 137,000 at the very beginning, so it's not much at all. And obviously, it's really clean slate. Um, Let me see, traps lost. So I must have been, this thing must have been shielded pretty frequently, but it is good to have it unshielded and get the turf loss and all of this rate or stats down. So when you finally become a trap, it doesn't look like a trap. Now I'm at level 57, almost at 58, but I will not use this EXP until I get, or I'm really close to level 60, because you notice everybody gets a little anxious when you get close to level 60, so I don't want to wait around myself either. So I'm saving all of these EXPs from Guildfest and every other thing I can get EXP out of, and stacking them up, and I will use them up towards the end. Now let's see, we got that Coliseum, we know we have. Okay, let me collect my gem, 10 gems. Oh yeah. And then you can see all our building are 24. We're going to see 25. So let's take a look at the gear. So the gears that I have right now, pretty standard gear, but you'll notice because it's free to play, they're mostly green. I got lucky with Dragon's Talon and got blue, but you will see it's far from purple. But it has been lucky. It's actually green mostly. Now you'll see some of the items, harder items, that's not even green yet. But it is F2P, and you know the main goal on this particular account is to get it to T4. So here's that. The jewels I'm just kind of holding on to. I'm not putting any jewels in just because I don't know which ultimately is going to be the final gear. So I'm just gonna let it be. I don't need to pull it out later, and I'm actually not planning on fighting with this particular account since I have other accounts to fight with until this thing is fully ready. Okay, so next step, we saw all of that. We know the troop, right? Okay, we have the troop count. We know we have nothing here. So let's go over the research one more time. So in order for you to get T4, you need all of these. So we still got quite a bit to go. And then we have the military. And military, I'm not too far away. I mean, it is still far. I'm not even at a halfway point to really consider. But we have just level 10s on defense, level 10s on health, and then army 10s. Army 10s obviously takes like hundreds of days. Then we can open up T4. And it's that close. So range offense is 3 days left. Let's look at the speeds that I have. If you guys been following this particular account, you know that from last time or a couple of months ago that we actually spent all the speed up because they had that when T5 was released, they had that 30% speed discount. So that's where I spent most of it, and that's how this thing actually got to where it was. But since then, I've been gathering a little more speed or collecting them. I haven't been spending them. And you can see decent amount of speed, but the small amount's not bad. Okay, 3 hours, 500. So, you know, it's definitely not there, but we're gathering little by little. And hopefully in 100 something days, because we're at 255 days. So we're about 3 months, 100 days out from being a year on this account. So 3 months and some change, and we shall see what happens. But yeah, these are the speeds that I have. Still need some more speed, but hopefully we can try to crank it out close to a year. If not, oh well. But we know that's about estimate or little plus. Now, as far as the troops, I haven't been using any troops training speed, and these are all from either from hell events or from what I've gotten from monster hunting or whatever that may be. That may be the case, but we collected a decent amount. 15 hours. I see. Yeah. So we got about I don't know, maybe a training pack or two worth. Let me see. And then obviously we have all these shields I'm not using, and reason why I'm actually sure I could have used 1 day shield over and over for what 40 something days, but I think it's better for me to just garrison away my leader into a castle that's got like 6 7 days. Then I don't really have to think about this particular account. Even if I miss a shield, then I'm not worried about getting zeroed. Especially if you got multiple accounts, then you can actually definitely uh, miss a shield or two. And I think for me, shielding it away somewhere else or putting leader away somewhere else, that might be better for me at this time. Okay, so that's my F2P so far. That's where we stand. We're about 40 million might. We know that minimum it takes about mid 60 mil to open T4. We're almost hitting minimum, but I believe we still have about 30 million might to go, maybe a little bit more to open up, maybe possibly 35 million might and some change. But this account I think is definitely going to open T4 before 80 million might, I think. So we will see. But yep, that's it. I hope this I don't know, encourages some of you guys going after F2P or discourage some of you that's going after F2P. For me, it has been challenging for me to stay F2P, and for doing this for now 255 days, yeah, it's definitely been a challenge. But I could definitely respect those people who want to go F2P and just stay that way. That's fine too. So I think that's about it. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video.